Hi guys, what's up? Hope everyone's having a good one tonight. Good evening, good afternoon, good day, whatever it is for you. I'm a little eepy. So we may have a shorter-ish one tonight, but it's okay. We're mostly gonna just talk about the powder thing. But before that, I hope everyone's had a great day. What have you guys been doing today? I see Royan is still grinding his Kingdom Hearts. Fun, fun. I need to actually do Kingdom Hearts 3 one day. I own it. I've just never played it. Oh, I've also got a bit of a sneezy. I can feel it. I'm waiting for it. It won't. Eh. There should be a second one in a minute. They always come in twos. I can sort of feel it. Well, it'll sneak up on me eventually. For now, I think we go. Thank you, thank you. Okay, chat's a little delayed, but that's fine. That happens. So, for those of you who don't like politics, this will be a very politics-adjacent stream, so I hope that doesn't bother you too much. The reality is, for a hot minute, a lot of controversy with VTubers is going to be, like, inextricably tied to Trump, because the VTubers don't like Trump, and he causes them to freak out and say very, very inappropriate things. And originally, I wasn't gonna really comment on it, because the VTubers always freak out about politics around election season, and it's kind of whatever. It's everybody saying, my guy good, your guy bad, your guy's gonna do a bad thing. But I didn't realize how terrible it was till I saw a tweet where a VTuber opens up the tweet with literally, here, let me pop it out. The first 4 words of this person's tweet is, someone kill this woman. And they have tons of support. Like, nobody seems to think it's an issue. They're like, oh, yeah, you said that on a private Twitter anyways. Like, it's all good. Like, they shouldn't be bothering. It's your community. You're allowed to vent how you want. And it's just like, there's only like 1 or 2 people in her thread that are saying, look, you need to chill. Like, that's not something we say. We don't do that. And it's just wild to me that it has gotten so far that people will openly say that and nobody will call them out and tell them to slow their roll. It's super, super inappropriate. Like, I shouldn't have to tell people it's inappropriate. But apparently I do. So here, I will... I think we've got a little minute here, so I will get right into what it's about. I might have to mess with my buttons a bit. We should be good. Yeah, that's the right button. So here is the tweet that kicked it all off. This is the tweet that people are freaking out about, that they're sending death threats over. I don't trust that much will change under Trump, but he is quite amusing to watch. And you can already see it with the very first tweet here with over 1,000 likes. I don't think this was the best take. He's already been doing and attempting to do a lot, and a lot of people are already feeling the effects of said changes. Hell, just his threats are causing changes. So I have not really been given a good example of anything that this applies to. The only change I've seen people actually bring up are that he said no more DEI stuff. Which I don't care about. Genuinely. And that only affects people in government, and it hasn't changed anything. So that's kind of whatever. I don't know what they're about. So this person right here is the one that caused a lot of the issues. The one that sent the death threat. It says, it feels like lots is being attempted to change. That one is, it's this one, right? No, it's this one. Yeah, so this person has already admitted that this is their private account. They kind of came out and admitted it on their own. So this is not an assumption. This is their account. They literally just open it with "someone kill this woman." Here's the full tweet. Someone kill this woman. How are you a VTuber and a raging racist idiot? Shouldn't have to explain to you current world events like you're 5. Grow up. And they just came right out and they're like, yeah, that's me, but you shouldn't have had access to that because it's my tweet or my Twitter is private. You're not supposed to be able to see that. And it's just, it's insane to me, genuinely. You got people like Echo the Goddess, which Echo the Goddess is a known racist, so I don't know why they're in here trying to do this. Powdur, please, STFU. Do you want to dragged again for having a really bad controlled substance for your God, learn to read and write, bro. Because it's clear as day that you have not learned your lesson when people were dragging you. A lot of this is just boring stuff. Yeah, BS, it's so amusing to watch our health be actively endangered for the benefits of billionaires to make even more money. This is the U.S. withdrawing from the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization sucks, by the way. Like, they are genuinely a crappy organization that have not really helped too many people. Don't really know why they're caring about this. The other thing is something about delaying funding to cancer research. This is just a temporary freeze while they do some discussing, like, dispersing funds. Here's the full thing. This is people just, again, being super stupid. It even says, like, in your own picture they're showing a temporary freeze on meetings on the National Institutes of Health could lead to delays in dispersing research grants and approving crucial clinical trials. It's super stupid that people don't get this, that this is normal when there's, like, shifts like this. It's whatever. You have 37.5k followers. I think you should be a little smarter in the topics you choose to speak about. They wouldn't be saying this if she came out and said Trump was a piece of shit. Bye, Bug. You have a good one. And you see it with other people. There are tons of VTubers shit-talking Trump. Nobody cares. It's only if you have, like, a lukewarm take about him or you don't say he's evil, then it suddenly becomes a problem. Having this opinion when people's lives are actively being ruined is kind of insane. None of your lives are being ruined. Your babies, no one cares what you think. IDK, if you say it's amusing to watch, what's unfolding before our eyes is tone deaf. Only reason you find it amusing is because it doesn't affect you in any way, shape, or form. And they're saying this because she's white. We will see this in other tweets, but there are a lot of people that will specifically say you're just a white bitch. That comes up a lot. Ari removed the cap on insulin prices and then immediately shot back up to where they were previously. It's going to be a tough for years for poor families with diabetics. Just as a point, this did not happen. He exchanged Biden's insulin cap with his own insulin cap, which was the same amount. And even then, prices have literally not changed at all yet. I don't know where he got this from. Every single provider has already said that they will not raise the prices at all. Probably because they're afraid to get shot like that other guy in New York. Or they're afraid of somebody on their team getting shot like that guy that got shot in New York. I think he was a health CEO of some sort. But like, this is literally not happened. Even the people that could raise them if the cap didn't still exist, which it does, have said they won't do it. So this is just a lie. Absolute brain dead take. Finding a person who denies millions of people their existence and a way of life amusing to watch. Shit ton of people are scared shitless. Go educate yourself, and I hope you won't be affected by what Orange Man is planning. They ask, what are they scared of? Deportations in mass ICE raids are being planned. I mean, if you're here illegally, you kind of should have already been deported. Sorry. LGBTQ plus people are not protected anymore from being discriminated in school or work. Literally a lie. This comes from him getting rid of they call it the Equal Protections Act, that was put in place like 70 something years ago. It was literally put in place under Lyndon B. Johnson. And it's like, we have civil rights protections already. That act was redundant. It just like caused other problems, which is why it inevitably got removed. But the Equal Rights Amendment is still a thing. I don't know what this is from, or why people suddenly care about this. They're actively trying to ban transgender people. This didn't happen again. Not being able to afford life, day-to-day life, and literal life since Orange Man already. Don't we have EEOC? We do. I don't think it was an act. It was an executive order. It was an executive order, but they called it an act. They called it the Equal Rights Act. But it was a executive order that was put in place under, I believe, Lyndon B. Johnson, from what I saw. But it was literally called the Equal Rights Act, and then under it, it was executive order. But they don't say the executive order part, because then it makes it sound like he actually just executive ordered away an act, which you literally can't do. Gang probably wouldn't say that out loud. I don't want to give a rant, but Trump is a threat to basically everyone except the wealthy. Static, you have actively defended blatant racists, like people who have openly said they want white people dead. So let's ignore your garbage. Gonna be honest, debating moving out of the U.S. Go for it. Have a fun trip on the way out. lot is going to change based on those orders. The question will be how many of those will be permanent. It all depends if you follow up with the laws to cement them. I guess in this spot they were replying to somebody that's deleted their tweet, or they have a hidden tweet. Yeah, post is deleted. Incredibly uneducated, and it's very sad to read. These are the gentle ones, by the way. These are the gentle tweets. So we're gonna go into the quotes, because the quotes are where we start getting spicy. Oh wait, there's one more there. Bitches, you stupid or something. People like you should go fuck themselves. Hate the ones like you that don't take shit serious. And then you can see next one. Very similar thing. And these are all VTubers. Like, they're indie VTubers, but they're all VTubers. Or most of them are. But we're gonna get into the quotes, because the quotes get fun. You can already see it. I'm probably gonna skip over a lot of the curse words because I'm not looking to get the stream fully demonetized. We're gonna hope for a little bit of monetization, but it probably won't happen. How are you gonna be a VTuber and alt-right? Does your model have an Elon salute toggle? Like, you just have people saying she's alt-right because she said she didn't think Trump would do anything. Like, are you... What? You're so stupid, it's unbearable. Here's what I meant when I said we're gonna start getting to, like, just being racist. You know, it's a privileged white bitch when they say shit like this. Trump is coming after my people, and people are scared. So scared they're going to be forced to leave the only place they call home because of Trump, and she think he's amusing. Ignorant piece of shit. This is the... This is still kind of gentle, given what else we'll go through. I used to like Nyx, so this one has kind of hurt my feelings. VTubers being wowdy again, and yet I get absolutely harassed and mocked for saying 5 viewers won't pay my bills, and to be conscious of the engagement bait you post as a bigger VTuber. Where's that energy for things like this? Like, again, this, you can see it. Like, these are all replying to just this one message. It's really not that steep of a message. He literally stopped all cancer research and approved of a project that claims they could vaccinate people against cancer, ran by a guy with allegations of essaying his sister. Thank you for the head pats, by the way. So here's his messages, right? He said an AI will design mRNA vaccines an individual person against cancer, making them robotically in 48 hours. This is a thing we've been discussing for years. This is not something Trump came up with, and this is not a stupid idea. This is literally something we have been discussing for years as a positive benefit of AI in medicine. This is like a really stupid take. Just genuine, because this is people that don't know anything about medicine, or they don't know of the stuff that's going on in the medical field. But the thing is, part of the reason it's so hard to fight cancer is because cancer is so individualized to each person that it becomes extremely difficult to, like, make up cures and stuff for it. Like an actual physical just cure for it. That's kind of where AI will be needed in the medical field. Isn't even something on the horizon. Actually, it's been on the horizon for a while now. We're just not 100% sure if it'll work. But it is an idea that has regularly been tossed around for not even the last couple years. This has been a discussion for almost like a decade now. Like, people forget that AI isn't new. Generative AI is new, yes. But using AI in the medical field like this has been a thing for 5-10 years now. Granted, it's not been as good, and it's needed like a lot of back-end tinkering with it, but it has been like a beneficial thing overall. In a couple years, it's probably going to be a bigger thing. A dog whistle that allows plausible deniability. But you can't just say that. This is a really good example of anybody that isn't with me is against me. The Hitler particles are radiating from this post. By the way, this person said this from their alt. They were too afraid to say it from their main. And like, can we stop with the Hitler particles thing? It's so stupid. Stop saying it. It's so dumb. Here's Kaio, the person that's openly said that you can't be racist to white people. Genuine, like, racist. Massive account, too. Don't understand where he gets his following from. Probably amusing to you if you're privileged and too dense to see everything that has already changed. He has a thread, by the way. Like, you can see, he's just constantly replying to people in this. I love this, by the way. He's talking about being too privileged, and he specifically means the race thing because he mentions it elsewhere. But then right here, he says, coming from a whole-ass white bitch, by the way. Like, you have just zero self-awareness, my dude. He appeals to the Yuki Violetta crowd. He really does. Nah, he's just a whole-ass racist, and nobody cares. Can't believe so many mutuals follow them still. Like, isn't she the person who copied someone's design and meant harm? I don't know what the meant harm is. I've personally covered the Powdur situation, and I believe my take was that she was wrong, and she was kind of being a bitch. Which is why I'm blocked by her on my other account. Which, by the way, it's funny that a couple people bring this up, because in the Kaio thread, they actually defend her from that. And they're like, no, actually, the girl totally stole her design. And it's like, what? Are you kidding me? Is it pardon everyone who stormed the government, pardons the guy who ran Silk Road, invalidates trans people, and gives a high chance of endangering their lives, closes off the border to legal immigrants who have followed the correct path, etc. So, pardons everyone who stormed the government. I don't care. January 6th wasn't a real issue. You guys are massive-ass babies about that. That's a genuine opinion I have. People have stormed the government so many times in the last, like, I don't know, 50 years. After every election, it's actually really not that uncommon to, quote, storm the government. Nothing ever happens when they do. They always just leave peacefully when they're told to. Pardons the guy who ran Silk Road. He kind of should have been pardoned. I don't know how many people have seen the case with Dread Pirate Roberts, or I think his real name is Ross Ulbricht, but 100% he was in the wrong, but it was definitely entrapment. Because for those of you who didn't see it, what they actually got him on was attempted murder, or murder for hire, I think is what the charge is. He was trying to pay somebody to kill a guy, but he was trying to pay somebody to kill a guy because the guy was blackmailing him. So, like, you can't, I feel like that's entrapment. And I kind of think they did him wrong on that one. And then with all the drug stuff, I don't care. I'm kind of of the opinion of kind of just legalize all the drugs and then regulate them. You're never really going to get me to be like, oh god, unless they're selling to kids. Unless you're selling to kids, you're never really going to get me on the side of, oh, put all the drug dealers in jail. The druggies are doing it to themselves. It sucks. I think he didn't get the murder one, just the drugs. The murder one is what they use to, like, get him, though. Basically. Invalidates trans people and gives a high chance of endangering their lives. I'm not getting into that. There's a lot going on with that. Closes off the border to legal immigrants. We're allowed to do that. We're allowed to close the border. Like, that's not an issue. And from everything I saw, he's not closing it off to people that have gone through the process. It's just halting new applications, which is a completely different thing. By definition, literally nobody that's being halted has actually gone through the process at all. Yes, because a man that brings out a billionaire that throws up Nazi symbols live TV to 25 million people is just a funny guy. I still don't believe Elon was throwing up a Nazi hand signal. I think he's just being a dumbass. I agree with the tweet that showed a bunch of his other, like, really bizarre hand signs he's made that have literally no tie to anything that we know of. That Elon is just weirdly autistic and doesn't seem to know, like, what to do with his hands when he's on stage. This is the most political I'm ever going to get, by the way. And these people are bringing it out of me. See, we got the racism again. Stick to VTubing. You look dumb AF, and it shows with your pasty skin tone. Like, I just, bro. So literally why I stopped VTubing, y'all are stupid. Like, literally a good 80% of VTubers are stupid. You're correct. A good 80% of VTubers are stupid. I'm assuming you're actually on the side that's stupid. Oh, look, another VTuber with a terrible take. I'm not even American. Okay, then opinion discarded. You're not American. Please stop trying to talk about our politics. People get mad at me when I say this, but everybody's always like, Americans don't know anything about the rest of the world when we know so much about America. I have talked to people from around the world. The problem is you know so much about America because you don't know anything about your own country. I've met people in Britain that don't know who their prime minister is, but they do know who the American president is. And they do know different American senators. That's not good. That's not saying you're well-read about what's going on in the world or about geopolitics. That's saying you don't know anything about your own country. That's not good. There are people in Europe that are more invested in the US presidential election than their own prime ministers. It's wild. Forgot for a moment why I didn't like you, now I remember. You're so effing dumb. Get canceled once and start leaning right. Murder is illegal but still happens every day. Should we also legalize murder? Rape happens every day despite being illegal. Should it also be legal? I mean, the law isn't stopping it, so who cares, right? Yeah, it's just... Ever see the video where the guy interviewed Europeans about American states and just acted like everything they said was right? I think I did. When it doesn't infect me, it's pretty entertaining. Lol. The word of the year is empathy, because it's very clear that many of you lack it. Yes, many of you do, in fact, lack empathy. You only see stuff from within your bubble, and if anyone disagrees with you, they are evil. Like, this is not... These people, like, it doesn't help their case. None of these people help their case. Teehee, the funny orange man. Some dipshit VTuber speaking from the luxury of being completely unaffected. Yeah, antagonizing our allies and stripping rights from the LGBT community is really funny, right? Again, this is all predicated on revoking that one act that doesn't even affect anything. Why are most VTubers just spineless right-wingers with no grip on reality, aside from the fact that there's more money in pandering to that audience? I don't know where people get this from. Like, look at how many people are disagreeing with her and being openly violent to her. And you're gonna be like, oh, everybody's a dumb right-winger. Like, it's clearly not. Having this take while being in a feel and queer-dominated space is crazy. Actually, I have to, like, laugh at this a little bit. VTubing is a Japanese-dominated space. And the Japanese are heavily right-wing and would prefer you not talk about being gay. Like, that's just kind of something that's ingrained in their culture currently. We could agree or disagree with that. I don't care either way. But, like, It's not a female or queer dominated space. It is a female dominated space. Amusing to watch, silly, charismatic. Suicide hotlines for queer people are overflowing because they're scared of their existence. Suicide hotlines for queer people are overflowing because of you guys trying to convince everyone like it's gonna, like everyone's gonna die. This is a you problem. I've actually brought this up before, and I saw this in a couple different threads. But people keep convincing mentally unstable people that Trump is going to kill them. And then you guys are like, well, look at all the suicide hotlines are overflowing. Yes, you did that. You told mentally unstable people that they were going to die. You caused this problem. It wasn't Trump. It was you, it was the media, it was everybody that is preying on their fears and insecurities, and you caused this. This is completely inappropriate. And you should not be telling people this, especially people that you believe are, like, kind of in danger. Sorry, I forgot to, like, close in the screen a little more so you guys could see better. But, like, no, you guys are literally causing this. I'd also like to point out that the suicide hotlines for queer people have nobody staffing them because they're scams. And people, like, seriously need to understand this. The most popular one, because people kept sharing it around, is Trans Lifeline. For years, it was staffed by one person because there are two owners, and it was still only staffed by one person because the owners didn't want to spend the money they were being donated on hiring more people to staff it. Like, these hotlines suck, and they do not exist to help people. I'm sorry that you have to, like, learn this way. VTuber Rage Bait. I'm gonna have a teaching moment and go over some changes with links. If you're wanting more to be aware of what's occurred. Immigration policies, LGBTQ rights, reproductive rights, protesting. Did they actually put links down here? So he just keeps listing like random websites, random.org websites. There's so much more, and I'm only just now learning about America and what happens since moving here. So you don't know. This is somebody that openly at the very bottom is like, I don't know. What is this? What is with all these people that want to talk about American politics? And they're like, I don't know much about America, actually. Why are you talking? As if you're like some brilliant, like... Just, oh my god. Oh, yep, here we go. Somebody called Afro Luther King me when I suffer from stupid white bitch VTuber disease. Like, you only need to scroll down, like, very short amount to find tons of racism in this, and everybody just ignores it. Tries to end birthright citizenship. Yeah, that's actually a good thing. I agree with that. Is trying to stipulate emergency funds for states that don't support him. That's what Biden did. It's literally what Biden did. They refused emergency funds to North Carolina. Pardoned violent people who tried to overthrow the government. January 6th wasn't overthrowing the government. I'm gonna, like, knuckle down on that. Pulled us out of who? Good. Who sucked? It was a terrible thing. Who actively spread the coronavirus? Like, I think a lot of people forget that. But who, the World Health Organization's suggestion for dealing with coronavirus actually killed people. Because they didn't know anything about it, and they just started flinging out random stuff that they had nothing to know about. Am I having fun with the Powdur drama? I'm not having fun with it. These people are insane. And they need to, like... like, they genuinely are crazy people. The deportation and separation of families is amusing to you. Actually, I'm glad these two come back to back. Because the point of ending birthright citizenship is so families won't be separated. The point of it is so that people who aren't citizens can't move over here, have a baby, and immediately be a citizen. Those were called anchor babies, and we all kind of universally agree that those were bad, and those were causing issues. All the signings of idiotic and extremely harmful executive orders. I mean, I guarantee they couldn't name a single executive order he signed. 100%. People are getting their rights ripped away, and you think he's amusing to watch? You can't legislate away rights with an executive order. I don't know where you came up with this. A VTuber with this take, the 4chan audience is delighted and will now shower her with money. It's always the 4chan. Like, oh, the hacker name is 4chan. I'd take that. There's even a website for it. What website? STFU, like, please, I swear she never learns when to keep her mouth shut. We get it. You're privileged and no harm will come to you with all this stuff Orange Turnip is doing. Some of us, however, have friends and family that will be affected. Yeah, like, chat. All these people, like, hype each other up. And they keep making it worse and worse. And, like, none of them know anything. They all have, like, vague news articles that they pulled from Google and they read the title of and never looked into it. Average VTuber, no checkmark MF out here being a dumb purely for the game of it. VTubers never beating the saying the stupidest shit for attention allegations. If the right wing knew what VTubers were, they'd send agents to do Mortal Kombat fatalities on your family. This is the same person who had a Tweaker episode over some demon girl VTuber because the designs and aesthetic was too similar. If you knew this was a lukewarm ass take and still, when given examples, still are tone deaf, then you deserve the backlash. Why are so many VTubers extreme right-wing weirdos? Who? Like, this is the stuff you say that you're just, like, making it up. Yeah, that's a meme. Nobody cares. Although they are listed as a V supporter. So, him supports all hashtag VTuber. Clearly not all. The worst take I've seen in a really long time. Really? The worst you've seen? Really? Another VTuber going down the alt-right grift path. Her responses in the comments are just... Why is it always alt-right? Like, I don't understand why you have to immediately think Trump is Satan or you're alt-right. I've seen alt-right pop up so many times in these replies. She's alt-right. She's an alt-right grifter. It's ridiculous. You're such a sack of privileged shit. You know that? Holy shit. I might lose my current job. I might never get hired again for being openly queer. And yet you say that shit? You are trash. I would like to point out that, like, let's pretend that we actually did make it legal to discriminate against people based on being LGBT or not. Which we didn't. That did not happen, just so we're clear. But let's pretend for a moment we did. We made it legal to do it again. Do you honestly believe you live in a country where LGBT people are so universally hated that you would never find another job again? That's a genuine question. Because that's, like, I've seen this with a bunch of people that are like, well, you know, without DEI, there's no way I would ever get hired. It's like, okay, so either you're saying that you suck so bad that the only way you can get a job is by being gay, and your company needs a mandatory number of gay people, or you're saying that you live in a country that is so heavily homophobic that there isn't a single job that would hire gay people in the entire country. Which one is it? And I'm gonna need you to, like, to defend either position. To say he is quite amusing to watch, as my Hispanic people and LGBT people are currently suffering and in pain with actions and changes he has made. Yeah, okay, let's not forget the fact he wants to remove the Department of Education. Please be more informed. Powdur, please. Wants to delete the Department of Education is just wild. Me when mass deportations, removal of reproductive rights, a complete disregard for the climate crisis, tax breaks for billionaires at the expense of healthcare for marginalized Americans, and an attempt to undermine the birthright citizenship is amusing to watch. Fun fact, removal of reproductive rights, they mean specifically Roe versus Wade. That was overturned under Biden. I don't, like, you can't blame this one on Trump. This was under Biden. I'm sorry. That was a couple months before Trump got elected. Mass deportations have always been a thing. I don't know why people are pretending it's not. Complete disregard for the climate crisis. Well, he wants to, like, stop forcing people to, like, overspend to make way for, like, businesses to ignore it. Because I think that's something that people forgot is a lot of things that we do to combat climate change don't apply to big businesses. They only apply to regular people. And it's people would be like, okay, but there's so many regular people compared to businesses. Surely that doing it to regular people makes a bigger impact. Not even close. The stuff big businesses do pollutes so much that we would have every single person in the world could do everything and could lower their emissions to 0, and it would not make a dent in any climate change producing gases because big businesses just take up that much. There's nothing we could do to actually put a dent in it. It's just not going to happen. Tax breaks for billionaires at the expense of healthcare for marginalized Americans. These two are completely separate things. I don't know where they're putting these two together. I can agree that tax breaks for billionaires is dumb, but it has nothing to do with healthcare. An attempt to undermine birthright citizenship. Yes, birthright citizenship sucks. Because the point of birthright citizenship was originally so slaves had a very easy way to become citizens. Because where are they going to go? They were brought over to America. They can't just fly back to Africa. There was no option for that. So we needed an easy way to nationalize a bunch of slaves very quickly. And we came up with the concept of birthright citizenship, which for the time worked when we were a small new nation that didn't have like all these complicated systems going on. Now what birthright citizenship means is somebody runs over the border to America, gives birth on American soil, and they basically say, touchdown, I'm a citizen now, you can't kick me out. That's not how that was ever intended to work. It's basically squatters' rights, but for citizenship. And nobody likes squatters' rights. Everybody knows it's stupid. I find fascist killing you funny. Nope, nobody's been killed. Nobody. Just a Galactica meme. Why are VTubers so weird, and why is it whenever I hear about them, they always do some stuff like this? If I was a brain-eating amoeba in your head, I'd off myself. Just like over and over these people doing this kind of stuff. You have to be dealt with simply ignorant and evil. Like, these people are crazy, genuinely speaking. One sec, I'm double checking something. Yeah, so to clarify, because I know you mentioned to amend the Constitution, birthright citizenship is not necessarily in the Constitution how we think of it as, and I had to double check to make sure. The birthright citizenship with the anchor babies is not in the Constitution, it's confirmed through Supreme Court ruling. Oh, which is slightly different. I know it still needs to, it wouldn't really be a constitutional amendment. It would have to be another Supreme Court decision. Probably. I still don't think you can do it with an executive order, but we'll see how it goes. It's so cringe to me this purple dime a dozen anime girl is tweeting about Trump with emoticons. Ain't VTubers supposed to be a form of escapism? Just go tweet about how schizo you are, or no one cares about your thoughts about politics? I mean, I'd normally agree with this, but you 100% are only saying this because you see it as pro-Trump. Weirdo putting an emoji underneath it. At least this person called it what it was, an emoticon. I live right next to the Mexican-American border. I noticed the day of inauguration, BP has picked up. Checkpoints I've never seen open are working. Canines, everyone at the local BP site waiting for paperwork to go through was a bust out. Here we go. We got like an actually nice person, it looks like. Why are people losing their minds over this tweet? It's someone making an educational guess and even thinks the holding of cancer research was bad in the responses. When you attack people like this, it only serves a narrative of tribal politics. You all need to stop. There you go. We have a good person for once. Nobody micro e-celebs when they need a paycheck. I don't know what this is gonna mean. I have a feeling this is something violent. They just say there's an Arabic saying. I have a possible belief that this is something to do with violence. It's fucking Kuma. By the way, Kuma's quitting being a V manager, according to some of his tweets. I would look down and try and find it, but he's basically whining that none of his, quote, clients treat him right. Hey, so that's an insane take and pretty ignorant. It's just you read about the policies he's implemented in both terms of his presidency and how they've changed course for many people's lives. Just show you don't know what you're talking about. Twice I've seen this person go viral, and both for the wrong reasons. Whether you're being stupid by choice or pretending to be cute and ignorant, both are genuinely sad to be so willfully apathetic to things happening to people around you. People keep using privileged. Like, you guys have no idea what privileged means, genuinely. Tell me how privileged you are in a society that a man actively trying to remove the democracy of our country is just another hee-hee ha-ha for you without saying it. You can't read a room, please go back to snorting your followers and shut up. I wasn't going to comment on this, but like, are you for real? Asking for examples? Watch the news. We've already walked back protections for the environment without any opposition. It's just going to get worse. Don't comment on politics if you're this ignorant. This is so... Yeah, that's right. It's been 5 days. We are 5 days into a Trump presidency. This is insane. What are they going to do over the next 4 years? And what are they going to do at the end of the 4 years when nothing happens? When there are no concentration camps, when, like, nobody dies, when there aren't, like, mass revocations of people's rights. What are they going to do? Like, I don't... I don't know what they think is going to happen. And they're not going to apologize. They're still going to, like, knuckle down. This is perhaps one of the dumbest takes I've seen. Putting a stop to cancer research is amusing. Actively killing climate science research is amusing. Deportations. Threatening Denmark or Canada or Mexico. Entering into trade wars with our closest allies and driving prices up. So we've already covered the cancer research. I'm not going to go over this every time. The cancer research thing is just wrong. So sorry you guys don't seem to understand that. He did not halt cancer research. Don't know why you think that. Actively killing climate science research is amusing. Again, this has not happened. They're angry that he rolled back some climate requirements that really only affected basic consumers. And ultimately, they actually caused more climate damage because the way they were worded caused companies to make bigger, more gas-guzzling cars. At the end of the day, it actually caused more problems, not less. And we've actually proven this with statistics. Deportations is a normal thing. Our country has always done deportations. Every country does deportations. Don't know why people are freaking out about that. Maybe somebody can educate me on this one. So I don't think we've threatened Canada. We did joke about annexing them, which is funny. It was hilarious that he did that to Trudeau, I'm not gonna lie. We didn't threaten Mexico either. We did threaten to send people down to deal with the cartels, which, that's not threatening Mexico. That's threatening the cartels. There's a bit of a difference. What is the Denmark? That's the one I need help with, and maybe one of you guys can help me with that. When did we threaten Denmark? Denmark is the Greenland thing? Here, let me pop up my other window. Denmark. Donald Trump in fiery call with Denmark's Prime Minister over Greenland. The notion of the United States purchasing Greenland has been a topic of discussion for months, but recent developments suggest that President Trump's administration is more serious about the proposition than initially thought. What? It looks like it would still be a purchase thing. Like, I don't understand why this is like an issue. Am I maybe like not understanding the gravity of this? Because everything I'm reading in this article says he just wants to like purchase it. Which, I mean, we sell land like that all the time. Other threat is tariffs on Mexico because our constitution is being changed, plus the government refuses to fight the cartels. I mean, I think that was covered more under their last thing, which is the trade wars. I do wonder why the interest in Greenland. I don't know. It says that he has wanted it for a while. I thought Greenland was the bad one. Greenland has lots of rare earth minerals. Fair enough. The article I have says that it would be a strategic location. I don't really understand what the strategery is, but I'm willing to bet that people smarter than me know better about what Greenland is. But I don't care. I don't think that's a threat against Denmark. He's just asking to buy it, and they can say no. I don't think we've threatened to go to war over Greenland, of all things. The snow melting has made a path for boats in the north. Interesting. I will not be smug or sarcastic in my reply. The reality is far too grim for jokes. There are many other shocking actions, but this is one most will understand immediately as to how bad things are for us all. Trump admin guts school safety committee created to combat mass shootings. Senior Trump official tells the 74th Department of Homeland Security will no longer tolerate any committees that undermine its national security mission. This reads like a headline to me, not a story. I have a feeling that this is not at all like the full story on this, especially giving the actual tagline to it. There's probably a lot more going on here that's a lot more complicated. But that's not really the point of this stream. Some people should shut up and do deserve to get flamed publicly. We're still going, by the way, chat. Like how you could see like how much is in this thread. So glad you find watching a fascist and his Nazi dog speedrun destroying a country amusing. We keep throwing around fascist and Nazi. Vtuber giving political commentary. I don't get this meme. I don't think much will change under Hitler, but he is entertaining to watch. Powdur circa 1930. People need to, like, VTubers especially, need to stop invoking the name of Hitler in every conversation. Because I don't think a lot of people understand, you can't boil, like, World War II down to Hitler got elected and then he just accelerated the country into an awful place. What happened to Germany in pre-World War II is hyper specific. Like a million different angles it came out from. And that's because, like, none of them actually paid attention in class, I don't think. There's famous pictures from pre-World War II Germany where people were burning their money as firewood. Your country has to be in a position where you are burning millions of dollars as firewood to get in a position like that. I'm not saying, like, people in America don't struggle. Plenty of people in America struggle. But there's no person in America that would have $100 bill and would think it is better to burn that $100 bill than it is to buy firewood with it. That just doesn't happen. When we get to that point, I think you might have legitimate concerns. But at that point, your legitimate concerns are probably going to be whether or not you have food to eat tomorrow. It's not going to be whatever, racist, homophobic, whatever you think is coming down the pipeline. You have to be in dire straits for another Hitler to come to power. Really dire. Why does this rage baiting pick me have a platform? She's just trolling from all her responses and will have zero repercussions for her lack of morals and grifting. She's such an annoying sight. What's with this stuff with, like, zero repercussions? What repercussions do you want them to have? Like, that's what all these people, like, clearly want, is they want somebody to be hurt. So amusing to watch people's lives potentially be ruined, uwu. Lamau, why does anyone follow this person still? They're embarrassing. This one's boring, just, hey, screw off. If you follow this person, please unfollow in the most serious way possible. This tweet should have been longer. Had a follow-up that said something about the awful things he's implemented in such a short period of time. This is incredibly tone deaf, and people like this do not deserve a platform. I would like to point out this bit specifically because this is going to come up a lot over the next couple of years. And I know for a fact that several of these people have already started to mass report people to try and get their accounts taken down. They genuinely believe that people who politically disagree with them in even the slightest mocha milquetoast way do not deserve to have a voice. None of these people care. VTubers catering to one specific audience, like, yep, whatever pays the bills. You mean the neutral audience? Like, what? VTuber with a edgy take, fork found in kitchen. That kind of sounds like a threat. I'm not really sure if that's a meme or something I don't know about. But no, I think I get it now. It's a dumb meme. People are projecting when they call people Nazis. Oh, 100%. Must be nice being an outsider and not scared for your safety. I'm literally having to stockpile medications because there's no guarantee my Medicaid won't be taken away or that my prescriptions getting filed could get me arrested. What are you talking about? You just made that up off the top of your head. Yeah, sure, your medications getting filled out is going to get you arrested. They wouldn't arrest the people filling out your medication. Where does that even come from? FEMA might be defunded. That's kind of FEMA's problem. FEMA's been under fire right now because they're not actually giving resources to people in need. They're being very picky and choosy with what counts as a natural disaster. Migrant family separated. Again, birthright citizenship up in the air. You can't put these two side by side, because the point of the second is to prevent the first. Like, it's so dumb. Reproductive rights sites closing. Again, this was Hunter Biden. The cancer research thing again. Like, that's... It's so funny that, like, they talk about the guy mentioning new age solutions we might be using to help fight cancer, and then they keep bringing up no more cancer research. Like, oh, you're so dumb. Also, a lot of people keep, like, simping for this guy from Creature Commandos. I don't think they realize he is a bad guy. He is literally a deranged criminal under the control of Amanda Waller. It'd be amusing if you actually shut up and stop being a loser. I've yet to see a remotely intelligent VTuber. VTuber shut the F up challenge impossible. As an outsider, what is your opinion on intelligence? Girl, Powder, I'm going to say this in the kindest way. What are you doing? Is this just engagement bait? This is not okay. You might find it funny because you don't have to deal with it, but others do and are terrified. I'm British, and I'm not laughing at this. Yeah, you're British. You have no right to have any say in this. Stop. Check that one's handle. Which ones? The fentanyl person? Here's all the last couple I covered. But like, I don't care about any of their handles. They're dumb. Thornmouth. I know who Thornmouth is. They also suck. Amusing to watch, but he promises mass deportation, immediately attacks transgender Americans, makes it legal for ICE to enter schools. Okay, what? Pardon leaders of the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers, fascist by the way. Threatens multiple other nations' leaders, left the Paris Agreement, plus more. For those of you who don't know, we should have left the Paris Agreement years ago, because we were the only people being beholden to it. Every other country, they were ignoring it. Daria read Kaio's reply. Yeah, Kaio's reply was at the top. This used to be my Oshi. Kill all VTubers. Why are the Gooner VTubers always Nazis and white supremacists? What does this have to do with being a Nazi? You're so dumb. It's incredibly sad and pathetic when someone has a following and says shit like this. It just shows how little they look into the topic before posting. Yes, none of you have looked into this topic before posting. It's very blatant. Hate people like you. Stupid take. VTubers try to not have a retarded opinion. Cyberbullying needs to be brought back. Just all this crazy stuff. People's rights taken away. Every time I see another VTuber intentionally starting a right-wing grift searching for those Asmongold viewers, I just feel so disappointed. These people are crazy. It's very funny that people will lose jobs, money, their homes, that like saying it's amusing to watch someone say, I'm gonna kill somebody, and then they do. Do you not realize what he's doing? That white heart must stand for privilege. What rights exactly? That's been asked for close to 8 years now. Yeah. I can agree with the sniper bully take. Yeah, so it's kind of funny that some of these people are technically correct, but they don't realize what they're saying applies to them and their friends. I have nothing to say other than what the fuck is wrong with you? Many LGBT, POC, women, and other marginalized communities are losing rights, and he's only been in office for a few days, but sure, it's amusing to watch. Oh, so they are a weirdo. Please block and unfollow this person. Thank you. If you haven't already, I would advise unfollowing this person. Somehow back again to rage bait and feed off right-wing dumbasses now, because she's irrelevant. If I catch one of my friends watching this schmuck, I don't think we're friends anymore. Straight Nazi take. Children are being searched for by Homeland Security for making an anti-Trump video. Cancer research canceled. AI funding. Rescinding of federal protections for minorities. Teehee, so funny to watch. Grow up and read the room. ICE is raiding elementary schools to rip children away from their families. Diversity, equality, and inclusion does not have to be upheld, meaning any minority can be prejudiced against. That is not what that means. That is not what removing DEI means. You're so dumb. Level of privilege is disgusting. Like, this is just what all these people act like. And it's exhausting. And I said this on Twitter, but it's going to be exhausting for the next several years. There's no evidence on that video thing. I haven't heard about it, but I'm not going to say that it didn't happen. I think it's very likely that that's not the full story. It's completely possible somebody... Because I've heard it before where somebody is a criminal... And then they will bring up, oh, well, the criminal was like anti this, they were anti this politician. And then people were like, oh, so they were arrested for being anti that politician? And it's like, no, they were a criminal who happened to also be anti that politician. It's a completely different thing. But I have not heard that story. I've never seen it. No idea what it's about. What I've seen, though, is people telling others to tamper with people's food. I've seen that. There was a viral Reddit post the other day, and I might see if I can find it real quick, because I didn't read it. I didn't get a chance to read it, so I saved it. Let me see. Yeah, here, so we'll pop over again really quick. This was a Reddit post the other day. It says, the coming years, it was placed on conservative terrorism. It says, I'm a caregiver. There's something that the boomers seem to have forgotten. Most caregivers are one of two things. Left-leaning or poor. The boomers, who are so excited by the fact that they have owned the libs, seem unaware that the people that will be caring for them as they become unavoidably dependent on others are some of the exact people they are celebrating being hurt by the coming promise. They're going to be getting a huge paycheck, either through deliberate abuse that will be inflicted upon them by people who have an existential axe to grind. Many caregivers are also immigrants and or gay, or through the diminishment of care that they will be receiving due to the lowered ability of caregivers to actually perform their duties in a respectful, professional manner. All of this is inevitable, and the boomers I'm talking about will not be able to hide who they are, and the fact that they asked for the choices they are subjecting all of us to. We caregivers know who you are and what you are about, is what we do. Besides, a lot of these folks don't seem to be too interested in hiding any of this. There will be a wave of elder abuse in this country that will be overwhelming, and the harm will be unavoidable and cannot be undone. The lefty boomers will be known and will be receiving much better treatment. There's nothing that can stop all of this. No amount of monitoring, no robots, no ideological separation of caregivers is going to happen. We are very aware of how to treat people well and how to do the opposite. Robots are not going to replace us anytime soon. Part of the caregiving role is the interpersonal relationship. And we lean very much to the left because we tend to actually care about others. The retribution they seek is not the retribution they will receive. That's what I'm talking about, though. Like, there's a bunch of these people that are just absolutely unhinged, and they're being actively encouraged by others. Can you head pat? You are allowed to head pat. I should probably start disabling, like, some of my... Thank you for the head pat, though. I should probably start disabling some of my Twitch, like, redeems, or for serious streams, but... She's admitting to murder. She's admitting to attempted murder and elder abuse. It's wild stuff. And we're supposed to just sit here and pretend like it's normal. They keep riling each other up. They keep making it worse. They keep accelerating it. And people just don't seem to, like, feel the need to call them out. I don't know. Oh, I do want to throw this out. This is back to the powder thing real quick. But I want to point this one out because I really hate this guy. This guy has actively tried to talk shit to me and be a trashy person to me, so I don't like him at all. Trump was amusing, the most memed president and the butt of every joke. Racism and hate grew, but nothing new for us. We could handle that. Now, he's a homelander. He's the reality to his threats, to the livelihood of others. To believe that he's amusing is straight up privilege. Free speech behind a pretty model, large follower count doesn't mean free of consequence, especially for one ignoring the legitimate response to her questions. The more I hear about this girl in both public and private spaces, the worse she gets. But hey, what do I know? You know, it's a complete lie that pretty model, large follower count doesn't mean freedom from consequences. You're free of consequences. You have actively said some of the most heinous shit imaginable to me personally, and nobody cares. Because that's just the way it works. Is Powder large? Powder is 37.6K, which is it's a good size. At least on Twitter, it's a solid size. I don't know about her other platforms. On Twitch, she is 52K, so she's a sizable one. Here, I'll do the full screen. 52.8K. She's almost at 53. So she's pretty sizable overall. But yeah, that's this whole thing has been crazy. Oh, so this is another thing that Powder mentioned later. This is why her bio is so empty right now. Have to start removing bio information linking to other people, because instead of harassing me, they're going after others who aren't even involved. I have actually had this happen to me personally in the past, when the Torikaru situation happened. This is pretty, like, bog standard for the VTuber community when they get mad at somebody. They try and get artists to blacklist you. That's about where they put it. It's just exhausting. But that's kind of about all I really had, necessarily. Like I said, I don't like talking about politics. I actually find politics very boring, and my ultimate opinion on politics is nobody's opinion ever changes. I could sit here and I could debate with people all day long, and the chance of me changing anybody's mind is kind of 0 to nil. It's just really not going to happen. I think the VTuber community has a serious issue with... They're very heavily left-leaning, and they are so, like, looped up in themselves that they constantly push each other further and further and further. Because when you're in a room full of people, and everybody in the room agrees that it is okay to hate and dehumanize certain people, everybody escalates. Because people just naturally have that mob mentality in them. I think it's something that both sides of the political aisle should be concerned about. But the fact is, only one side is particularly concerned about it at all. And even that side is still kind of iffy on it. So both sides constantly escalate each other and make things worse and worse until, like, it's gonna blow up eventually. I don't know when it'll blow up. And personally, I hope it doesn't blow up for many more years. But I have to admit, it's escalating really fast, and I wouldn't know where to even begin with it. This wasn't politics, it was people going on a crazy fantasy world they live in. I mean, yeah, I kind of agree with that. It's a lot more people just, being assholes, overall. I hope I can keep it away from the Under the Tea. I would rather Under the Tea be more about, like, fun or interesting drama, and I don't want to have to deal with politics all year. But I think it's definitely going to be another couple months before VTubers start moving away from politics and get right back into their regular sex pest ways. Because at least that you can kind of make fun of. June. Yeah. But we'll see. But you guys can still get a little more stuff tonight. I know Akko's talking about some fun things. So I'm gonna send people over to Akko. They're talking about the Twitch CEO. He did like a VTuber interview with Giga. Or Giga, whatever her name is. I think it's Giga. But I do love you guys. I appreciate you all showing up. I'm sorry for the shorter streams. I will publicly admit I'm just very tired. I've had a rough week the last, like, 2 weeks. I'm trying to get kind of back in the swing of things again. I'm very, like, emotionally tired, I guess is the correct word for it. But I'll do my best. I'll try and fix it. Oh, the Booba audio. I probably should have definitely disabled Blurp, especially because it's not playing right now. That's my bad. But again, I appreciate you guys showing up, and I hope to come back tomorrow to just play some games like normal. But we'll see. Bye guys, be good for Akko.